They say, but I know why he acts this way. Like understanding someone's pain makes it okay for them to keep causing yours. Actually, no. Let me guess. You know his childhood was hard. You know his ex cheated. You know his parents were cold. You know he doesn't open up easily. You even know his astrology sign, birth time, and inner child wound. But knowing why he acts the way he does doesn't make the way he treats you any better. And if you've ever found yourself stuck between compassion and self-respect, trying to explain away the gut feeling that isn't working, this video's for you. Because I know why you stay. And I know why it feels impossible to walk away when you've already written a 14-chapter emotional thesis about why he is the way he is. But here's the part no one tells you. You can understand someone deeply and still not be safe with them. Later in this video, we're going to talk about the exact moment you go from emotional support to emotional hostage, and you won't even realize it's happening until it's already too late. But first, let's rewind. Because this usually doesn't start with chaos, it starts with empathy. You don't fall for him because he's toxic. You fall for him because you're emotionally gifted and slightly delusional. You saw the flicker of pain behind the sarcasm. You bought, oh, he's not rude. He's just emotionally constipated. He told you things he never tells anyone, and your empath brain went, challenge accepted, because he showed you the scared little boy behind the shutdowns, the inconsistency, the defensiveness, and your heart said, I get it, I won't abandon you like they did. But when you've spent your whole life learning how to anticipate other people's moods, reading between the lines, soothing tension before it starts, that's not just empathy. That's survival.
Sorry I lashed out earlier. I've just been going through a lot lately.
No, it's okay. I understand. I totally get it. I mean, your childhood, the stress at work, Mercury retrograde.
Right. Thanks for being so chill about it.
No problem. I'll just quietly suppress my emotional needs until you feel safe enough to acknowledge them.
Huh?
Nothing. Want a snack? You weren't just loving him. You were managing him, monitoring him, trying to be soft enough, patient enough, calm enough so he could feel safe. Because if he felt safe, then maybe you could feel safe too. And no one told you this at the time, but that's how it starts. Not with control, not with screaming, not with a grand betrayal, but with a moment where you silence your own discomfort because you understand where his behavior is coming from. You don't notice it at first. It's subtle, like flinching when your phone lights up, like rewriting your texts 5 times to make sure they sound okay. Like saying it's fine when it's very much not fine. You start adjusting not because he asked you to, but because you know what happens when you don't. You stop bringing things up. You stop asking for reassurance. You stop asking for anything really. Because the last time you brought something up, he sighed, or gave you that,
here we go again,
look, or said,
do we really have to talk about this right now?
So now, instead of having needs, you have Google searches like, how to not be a burden in a relationship, how to communicate without sounding annoying, how to heal him so he doesn't leave me.
You've been kind of distant lately.
Oh no, I'm good. I've just been really into emotional minimalism lately.
What?
You know, low expectations, no needs, full detachment. It's the vibe.
Are you okay?
Define okay. That's the thing about being understanding. You start shrinking so small you forget you were ever allowed to take up space. You think you're being the stable one. You think you're being patient. But really, you're just slowly disappearing. And you keep telling yourself, if I can just love him through it, he'll finally get it. He'll finally choose me. He'll finally change. And maybe he does, for a week. So maybe he does change, for a week. He starts doing the things you begged for months ago. He listens more, he texts back. He suddenly remembers your love language like it just got added to his notes app. And for a second, you feel seen. You feel like maybe he's trying. But then, you stop crying. You stop threatening to leave. You stop pulling away. And guess what? So does the effort. Because it wasn't change. It was panic.
Hey, I just wanted to check in. I know I haven't been great lately.
Yeah, I've kind of been at my limit.
Totally valid. I actually journaled about that last night.
You journaled?
Yep. Also made a reservation at your favorite place, and I'm rewatching that show you like so we can talk about it again.
Wow.
Also, I downloaded a therapy app. Haven't opened it yet, but vibes.
Right. That's the difference between change and maintenance. Real change isn't about damage control, it's about accountability. It's about doing the work when no one's threatening to leave and when no one's watching. So if he only shows up when you're halfway out the door, that's not trying, that's bargaining. And let's be real, maybe you've been so focused on his pain, his growth, his past, you haven't stopped to ask, what about mine? You've been holding space for him like it's your full-time job. Meanwhile, your own stuff? Still sitting in the emotional draft folder. So maybe this is the part where you stop Googling how to fix him and start letting someone hold space for you. I don't mean him. I mean an actual licensed therapist who won't make you feel needy for having needs. If that sounds like something you might be ready for, there's a link below for online therapy I recommend. But if you've been pouring everything into him and feeling emptier by the day, you might need someone who listens to you for a change. You shouldn't have to fall apart for someone to step up. Trying shouldn't require a breakdown. It shouldn't be scheduled around arguments, ultimatums, or emotional exhaustion. But when you're the one always holding the emotional thread, you start to internalize this weird belief that love only moves forward when everything is falling apart. And you don't notice it at first, but eventually, you're not resting, you're bracing. Bracing for the mood shifts, bracing for the withdrawal, bracing for the moment the version of him who tried disappears again.
You okay? You seem tired.
Oh, I'm good. Just managing both of our emotions, the relationship dynamic, your unresolved trauma, and pretending I'm fine while doing it.
Nice. Wanna pick the movie tonight?
Sure, how about Silently Carrying the Weight of Your Issues, the musical?
Is that on Netflix?
It's in my nervous system. That's the thing. When you're constantly carrying someone else's emotional weight, you stop noticing how heavy it's gotten. And some of you're exhausted not because you're weak, but because you've been doing the work of two people. In silence, with love, while calling it just being supportive. If your body's tired from carrying someone else's emotions, maybe start with giving yourself a little bit of that softness you keep giving everyone else. One thing that's helped is using a weighted blanket at night. There's something about the pressure that tells my nervous system you don't have to carry everything right now. If that sounds like something you might need, there's a link in my description and it comes with a 10% discount. So, they say, but I know why he acts this way. And maybe you do. You know the story, the patterns, the trauma. You could probably psychoanalyze him better than his therapist, if he had one. And I know you want to believe that if you just love him enough, he'll finally heal. But knowing why someone acts a certain way doesn't mean you should keep accepting it. His pain might explain it, but it doesn't excuse it. And it definitely doesn't mean you should keep shrinking to make room for it. So no, you're not leaving because you don't understand him. You're leaving because you finally understand yourself. And if you want someone who sees your patterns, your growth, your worth, hit subscribe, because this is the part of your story where the main character stops settling. Subscriptions are my love language, don't forget. I'll see you in the next one.